All right. So Dawson wanted me to explain my Rocket Mass grill, or it's a Rocket Mass smoker. I built a old Rocket Mass heater for my greenhouse a while back, and we moved and sold it, and I just, just enamored with the way it burns. So I was thinking about making a smoker out of it. So you can see it's basically got the U-shaped burner, and you put the wood in here. And I made a few modifications. If you look in there, I made a false bottom and a way to clean it out over here. So you can see the false bottom, and you can see I made a little trap door where you can clean out the ashes. These are little fan assist to get it started. I got this little fan that'll blow up. It's unnecessary, but it just makes it easier. If the temperatures get off a little bit, I put the fan here, it blows a lot hotter. And then if you come around here and look inside, you can see the burner pipe comes all the way up here to the top of the grill. And then if you come over here and look on the outside of the grill, you can see the exhaust pipes all the way to the bottom. Most offset smokers, they're in the middle. That may be okay. But I made a few adjustments over time, extended out. And you can see I got a couple pieces of frozen sausage. We're gonna fire it up and do a little demonstration. All these parts that you see are all, this is huge pipe that we use at work for casing. The sides are old W sections. These are micropile pipes. They're old rejected oil field, super thick. So this thing is very solid. All right, so I'm gonna shut the door. And just to get it started, I'm gonna dump some dry pellets. And we need the heater, what we do with the lighter. Oh, there it is, right there. Sorry. All right. So with the pellets, it just takes. It takes a little bit to get the pellets going, and then we can add some wood. And the pellets are unnecessary as well. If you got good dry wood, you get started with that. And then once it gets drafted, I usually change the fan to the other side. You can see it's drafting pretty good, and pulling through. It's got some good dry fire. And we just rained last night, so we just picked up some limbs and started off with. Everything's pretty damp, but it'll get going. And that's just old dead oak limbs. And like you saw, we got the sausage in there already. But just take a look at the stack up there, Dawson. You can see the smoke's already pretty clean and blue. Temperature's not very high. Come around here and take a shot of the temperature gauge. So it's only around 125 right now, just getting started. So I've turned the fan off, and you can see the draft, or kind of the way the rocket stove works. It's just running off the natural smoke and pushes through the grill. The grill's sealed up good, and it drafts out the pipe pretty good. And then I guess while we just got the thing running, I can show you a little bit of what's going on over here. Come around over here, though. So I actually had a temperature gauge set up to the fan, and the temperature gauge actually went out yesterday. I had this one, but the range is not really adequate, where it'll come on at just say 200 and cuts back off at 225, depending on whatever you want it to maintain, but the air really helps it. But it's got a little fan rheostat, and then I got a little old Hitachi battery and a receiver for it. Kind of gives it its power. So and like I say, for starting, I can start it here, and then once I get it cooking, I put it over here, and then if you kind of, hold on. If you kind of look over here, you can see the false bottom where the ashes fall. You know, you cook shoulders 10 to 12 hours. There may be a little buildup of ash, but you can easily clean that up. Just keep stacking wood in there. And then here's a wheelbarrow full of wood. I mean, this is just one way we cut the wood in little strips. I mean, I split it with the bandsaw there. Just makes pretty good uniform logs that go in there pretty good. You can see it's pretty wet as well where it rained last night, but you can throw them in there and it'll dry it out and burn it as it goes. And then we got a pretty good supply of wood over here in the back corner. And we don't heat with wood, but most of the first bin is hickory, and the next two bins are all oak. There's a little bit of cherry up there. How many minutes have we gone in?
10.
Yeah, 10 and a half minutes. And we're already up to 225. I'm gonna turn the fan down a little bit and just kind of maintain that 225. And then come over here and shoot a picture of what the fire looks like at 225. Of course, the majority of it's still the pellets. I mean, it's only been 10 minutes, so they may last, or there'll be some pellets or pellet coals for maybe an hour. They burn up pretty quick. I did put a pipe in there just to try to gravity feed pellets, but I mean, it works so good off of just regular wood. It just seems ridiculous to run it off pellets, but this thing eats up pellets like crazy. So it's not really feasible. But you know, as the weeks go on, I mean, we can get a couple hours of limbs that fall out. It's basically for free. And that's it. Probably take do a little bit more time just watching the fire there and kind of seeing how that burns through. We'll add some of that wet wood. We'll do a little clip of that wet wood burning up as well, just in the wheelbarrow, and we'll cook these pieces of sausage. Oh, and also, I guess while you're still filming, I got this little water tank here. If it gets too hot, or if it seems like it needs a little bit of humidity, just put a little drip in there, and it don't really cool the fire down any, but it usually immediately starts dripping condensation out of the smokestack when you start dripping water in there. So instead of a water bath, you know, I just use this little method right here. And just, you know, just basically you there's rainwater in it now, but you just put a little water in this bucket, and just a means to put a little moisture in there. Just shoot it in there for a little bit more, maybe 1 minute. All right, little update on the burn. All the pellets are gone, and now it's just the limbs. Just a few more. These pieces are pretty big. You can see the smokestack once you put some fresh wood shine up in the smokestack. It's got a little more smoke, but it's still pretty clean. There's mainly blue, and some of it's just water vapors from the wet wood. It's still burning pretty hot. Let's see what the grill temperature is. Grill temperature is a little bit less than 225 right now. So all those real dry wood pellets are gone, and now it's just a wood. So. I'm gonna take a little bit to get those pieces dried out a little bit that we put in. lay some of it up here on the little pan. I mean, if you got a little saucepan, you want to make some, warm up some sauce or render some sauce, you can do that right here on this little burner. Hear the water hitting it pretty good, but it'll dry up pretty good. I got a little infrared temperature gauge. You got a temperature gauge. Oh, she's on. Sorry, put it on Fahrenheit. So the pipe reading about 330 degrees, 384, 350 on the outside. The inside's much hotter, obviously. Come around here and shoot the barrel where the temperature gauge is. It's reading 225 on the gauge, and it's, you know, it's a good almost 100 degrees different on the outside. Obviously, it's not going to be the same temperature on the outside, but the fire's got the pipe. You know, I think the pipe is close to half-inch wall, so keeps it burning pretty efficient. Come back over here to the burn, please. And then right against where the burner is, it's coming off, it's 235 right where it's burning. The outside's about 140. Kind of the same all the way across. The bottom's a little cooler, about 120 down at the bottom. But that'll probably burn. So if you fill it up all the way up to the top of the pipe, it burns close to an hour like that. They burn a little longer since the wood's so wet. A little cooler burn, most likely. All right, a little fire update. The wood that was dripping with water, you can see it's still wet up top, but it's just kind of torching it off and burning it. You know, it's not on fire. It doesn't burn when you pull it out, but it's consuming it as it goes. Here's another piece here. You can see it barely burns, but when it gets in where the good air is blowing on it, and then that coals, it consumes it even though it's green and wet.
Smells good.
Yeah, it smells good. And over time, I let some set up here and dry a little bit, but I'm gonna stack another layer on top. It's starting to rain a little bit, so we're gonna let it run by itself for a while. And this will be enough to finish those couple pieces of sausage. We'll come back out in 30, 40 minutes or so. This will probably burn an hour. So that's it. We'll just leave it like that for a while. All right. Still at 275, 250.
That's a good.
Sausage is 200 degrees. That's well done. Overdone. A little bit more than 200 degrees, but nice and dried out, smoky and crispy. Take and break one open. Looks pretty good. A little bit of a smoke ring. Looks pretty good. Smells good. And let's look at the burner. Oh, we got the back here. Oh boy, hold on. Okay, had to get it back going the right way. So you can see the wood that we put in there. It was pretty wet, just burns as it needs it. Nice little bit of coals in there now. Well, you can just, when you want to feed it, you can just This has dried out a little bit. We had it sitting on the burner, but you can just add more wood in. We got the fan off, so it's just naturally drawing.